A deceased friend doesn't just turn to ashes. They might just become a gemstone. There was always this extra in the corner of the bar, unnoticed by everyone until he died. Old man Burns said he hated the sound of crowds, and figured Larry was already gone. Not only did the audience never notice him, but neither did Homer, Carl, and Lenny. Out of politeness, they attended the funeral of this semi-stranger. The priest arrived a bit late and asked who the day's honoree was. An old lady said it was a bald drunk who died at Moe's Tavern. The priest invited Larry's mother to give a eulogy, but she passed the torch to Homer and his 3 pals. Larry had often mentioned to her that he had 4 best friends for life at Moe's Tavern, and invited them up to share stories about Larry's daily life. And so, they were thrust into the spotlight, their minds blank, not knowing where to start. The old lady suggested they could begin with Larry's fishing hobby. Homer said they once went to a fishing lake together. Why was it called Fishing Lake? Because that's what they called it. The lake was teeming with fish, and they knew who always caught the biggest ones. He meant to say Larry was really careful with the fish wet. A true story that was. The 4 of them left Maddie deeply disappointed. Larry had been sitting right beside them all along, yet they'd never shared a shred of their joy with him. Homer started to wonder if he was a cold and selfish person. Then Larry's mother found the 4 of them and showed them something she discovered in Larry's room, a photo of them they'd never seen before. Carl noticed the background was Quiet Falls, and to atone for this belated friendship, the 4 of them, carrying Larry's ashes, embarked on a journey to Quiet Falls. It was a road fraught with sadness and contradictions. Homer and Lenny wanted to redeem themselves. Moe was just killing time, and Carl wanted to wrap this up quickly. He had a date waiting for him. That night, when they stopped to rest, Lenny refused to turn off the lights, believing Larry's spirit was with them. Carl didn't buy it. From what he knew, a person's soul drifts into the universe and becomes a star, a member of the Milky Way. Moe thought that was all nonsense. After death, all that remains is the memories of the living. For Homer, the existence of the Bible meant people went to heaven after death and enjoyed endless feasts. The 4 of them argued over this, and in a huff, Lenny took Larry to the bathroom to sleep. The next day, when Homer went to the bathroom, he accidentally knocked over Larry's urn. He panicked, trying to scoop Larry back into the container, not understanding where these blue things came from. Moe got excited. His nose for a quick buck told him these were sapphires. He guessed Larry might have been a carrier for gemstone smuggling, but none of that mattered because they were about to get rich. Homer wanted to tell Lenny and Carl, but Moe stopped him. Among the foursome, only he and Homer were struggling. There was no need to share this windfall with the other 2 high flyers. With this secret, Homer grew even more anxious to let Larry enjoy the scenery. Lenny took a detour, which infuriated Carl, who had a date to get back to. They started arguing and fighting over the steering wheel. In a panic, Moe slammed on the brakes, just barely keeping the secret from spilling. But then, as the car started up again, the urn got dragged out, and the secret was out in the open. Moe blamed Homer, saying he'd been egged on by him. Homer, furious, was about to throttle Moe when the cops showed up and arrested all 4 of them for jewelry smuggling. Even in this predicament, the 4 of them couldn't stop bickering. What they didn't know was that the cops were the real smugglers, sent to track down the gems inside Larry. The man prepared to kill them to cover his tracks, but Homer pulled out his trusty flamethrower. He had 1 bullet and 1 shot. Going forward meant death, going backward meant life. The 4 of them, with their combined weight, kept the car in a delicate balance. As long as no one got stabbed and left, they wouldn't be, which meant one of them could save themselves, but the other 3 would die. They couldn't keep this up forever. They had to jump out simultaneously to survive. On the count, they jumped. Success or failure hung in the balance. Meanwhile, the man hadn't left yet. He had to make sure the other 3 were dead before he could go. But then, a tree fell on him, and the urn went flying. In the end, it rolled down the hill with Homer. Just as Homer was about to meet his doom, the urn flew out and wedged into the tire, causing the car to break and throwing Homer out. You gotta hand it to Homer. Larry saved his life. Carl realized they'd reached Quiet Falls, but it didn't look anything like the picture. Just as Carl was about to curse, Homer found the truth. The real location wasn't Quiet Falls at all. It was somewhere far yet near. Larry was back in his old spot, and his friends, who'd never paid him any mind, were finally by his side. As for where those sapphires ended up, well, we might only find out when Moe gets cremated.